Since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be rich. I can't count the times I've dreamed about buying the newest PlayStation or to go watch the match of my favorite team. And because of that, I started studying rich people to understand how to become like them, how to do what I love for my whole life. And the more I was studying them, the more one thing became clear to me. To become rich, the first thing that you have to do is to improve yourself, to improve your habits. And here I want to share with you the 6 bad habits that are keeping you poor. And first on the list, there is impulsive spending, because we are all tempted by buying the things that we like, especially if we have expensive hobbies. For example, for shopping, you might want to buy the newest pair of Jordans, or if you're a video game fan, you always want to have the latest game on the market. And if you love photography, you want to improve your lenses. But all of this is extremely expensive, and it leads to lifestyle inflation, which means that you're spending more than you earn, which is clearly bad for your finances. And that's why people use a lot of credit cards to buy all these kind of things, and they always borrow the maximum possible. For example, to buy a house, everyone is always trying to buy the most expensive house they can, which over the time is just going to destroy your finances. And also because this means that you're getting comfortable with bad debt, and this bad debt is going to follow you for the next decades. And so first thing first, stop just buying because you're tempted by something, but do it rationally. Secondly, people are not used to save money. Imagine that 50% of the population can't cover expenses for 3 months with their emergency fund. And this means that they're not prepared for the worst. Imagine that you have a car accident or that you have to pay for unexpected hospital bills. The only way that you will have to pay them is to ask some money to the bank. And this again will destroy your finances over the time. And so that's why having a stockpile of 3 to 6 months, it's mandatory. Thirdly is the failure to set clear financial goals, because you don't know where to go. It's like when you take the car, you need to know the destination of where you're going. And the same goes for money, because yes, you might want to be rich, but what does rich means for you? Is it having 1 million, is it having 10, or is it having 100 millions? Clearly this makes an enormous difference. And according to your objective, it's easier to understand if you're in the good path or not. And not having clear financial goals also means that you're not tracking your income and your expenses. And this means that you don't know what's happening with your money, and you will never be able to understand your impulsive spending we were talking before. And so that's why it's extremely important that you create a plan, you set objectives for your finances. Fourthly, you're probably not investing. And this is the greatest mistake you can do, because investing is what brings you money over the time. Because once you have created your emergency fund, you have to start investing with all the rest of your money. Because your objective, if you don't want to be poor, is that the money you have is working for you. Because imagine that more than 65% of millionaires have more than 3 sources of income. And these sources of income can come from anything. It can be your normal job, it can be a real estate investment, it can be stock market investment, or any other potential business that you might have. And so don't wait until it is too late to start investing, because it is with time that all of these businesses, all of these investments will start to bring a lot of money. Another extremely impactful bad habit is neglecting your own personal development, because we're all taught at school that you learn during this period, but then when you go to work you just have to execute. But this is the most wrong thing in the world, because you always have to continue learning. And this is also what rich people do, because it is what makes possible to earn more and more money in the future. And so it's super important that you invest in yourself. For example, you can learn how to invest so that you have a new source of income. You can learn a new skill that is helpful for your job, like maybe programming, so that you're going to increase your salary over the time, or also find another high-paying job. But you can also learn how to open a business, so that again you have a new source of income. And remember that this, over the time, is the most powerful habit that you might have. Because in the end, if you're going to be rich or poor, it depends on you. And then there is poor time management, because time is the only thing that you can't buy back. And that makes it the most precious thing in the world. And this also means that it is super important how to use it. And the best thing you can do with that is to be productive, to develop yourself. But sure, you can't always be productive because it's difficult. I mean, everyone wants to sit on the couch watching an episode of Friends on Netflix, and it's good to do that. But if you want to be rich, you have to be able to also use this free time that you have to do things that are productive, that will help you to reach your own goal. You could start tonight by watching this video about the best books to start investing. Thank you for watching and see you soon.